Chuck and Freddy at the movies.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
So, yeah, this week we finished watching Captain America, the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
I liked it. It was fun. Very well crafted. Some twists and turns. A little upset the first time I saw it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
He killed them all. What was the point of that?
Oh, the soldiers?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think that the big fight is going to be with those 5 other Winter Soldiers. That's what you think it's going to be. But then it doesn't end up being that. And I was a little disappointed the first time around. I was like, why would you do that? But then he still got what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
He still got the team fighting against each other, almost killing each other. So quite a clever villain.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't appear that his plan actually worked the way he wanted it to.
Well, it did.
It's still it's kind of like he was able to go one direction and then just switch, and he was still able to accomplish what he wanted to.
He went with the flow a lot.
Yeah, kind of like plan A. Oh, didn't work out. Let's go to plan B. It's like he had 5 different plans in his head, and did a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it worked out for him. Zemo, I think, is one of my favorite Marvel movie villains.
Even though doesn't have any superpowers.
No powers, no weapons. He's not. I guess he knows martial arts because he was a
specialized in anything. Really.
He was a special ops guy.
Right.
Which is how he got.
So he does have combat skills.
Yeah, that's how he got Black Widow's encrypted files whenever she dumped all the information on the internet. And that's probably how he can disguise himself and infiltrate. But
so combat skills and tech savvy.
Yeah, but even in the combat skills, you don't really know how compatible. He never fights anybody.
No, he doesn't actually.
No,
no?
I mean,
he never fought.
He never fought. You can assume that he has combat skills because he was the Sokovia's version of the CIA. Right. But yeah, he's not a normal supervillain. He's mostly a guy, just a guy. His family died, and he wants to destroy the family that destroyed his family. So
which were the Avengers,
right? So. And yeah, I think a lot of people think his plan is more convoluted than it is. He doesn't actually need the Accords for his plan to work.
Do you think he even cared about the Accords?
I think he used that. I mean, obviously he used that as a method of dividing the Avengers, but just the fact that framing Bucky for the bombing at the UN embassy would be enough to get Captain America interested, and for that point, he already had the book, which had the information to the Siberian bunker, which had Bucky's video of killing Stark's parents. So he could use the army of super soldiers as the red herring to lure them out, and then say, "Hey guys, there's no supervillain army, but watch this," and then show a video.
Yeah, with that scene the first time around, especially, I was kind of disappointed. I was just like,
I loved it. I loved that because I was
no epic battle between these 5 dangerous guys. It's here, watch a home video.
Yeah. America's Funniest Home Videos.
Not funny. People died.
Remember your dad died?
That's not funny.
Your dad's old war buddy crushed his skull. Hilarious. The Bob Saget will come on and play a little cartoon.
Okay, stop.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that.
But I was disappointed though, to be honest, because you're in a superhero movie, you're expecting some big epic battle, but then of course it's called Civil War, so
see, I thought it would have been too convenient.
I just assumed, they're not gonna fight anymore. They're gonna go back to being friends and then fight these 5 guys.
Nope.
Or I guess they're not all guys. Sorry. 5 soldiers. But then they're just dead.
Yeah, because he didn't need them. So, but I like that because I mean,
So they've been alive this entire time.
Well, frozen, like Bucky and Cap.
Yes.
Same.
Frozen but alive.
Yeah, same idea, same,
Anyways,
concept.
that's my whole thing about that movie.
I liked it,
enjoyed it. I was a little disappointed, but then it was still good at the end where I was like...
Well, I liked it. I liked that they subverted that, because I was watching it, I'm like, oh, I hope that it doesn't end with some big epic battle where, like...
What?
Because it's like, well, that's too predictable, right? You kind of expect that. Oh,
True.
like the heroes are fighting, and then the bad guy has his big bad guy plan, and also in every Marvel movie they had the thing where they have an army. Every bad guy's had his own evil army almost.
True.
Like whether it's
it would have been predictable.
The Chitauri or Dark Elves or the Extremis guys or
the Dark Elves. I thought they all died.
Right, but I'm saying that every villain has had his army.
Oh.
Like Ultron had all the robots.
Yeah.
Even Loki was manipulating an army of frost giants and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. So to actually subvert that, and at the end, I mean, the Avengers are still broken up at the end. They didn't get back together. There's no happy ending.
And it's implied that the ones that were in those jail cells were freed.
Yeah, Cap came in and rescued them and broke them out. But still, it's not much of a happy ending. It's like, okay, no. Cap and his team are now fugitives, international fugitives. I mean.
So how much time do you think they're gonna spend on the Infinity War movie, like on getting them back together?
I don't know. I mean, you actually see that there are multiple teams in the trailers, right? Mm. And it's still, ironically, Cap's team and Iron Man's team and even Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
So, my thinking is that they'll probably coordinate a little bit, because Iron Man, Tony has that phone that Cap gave him.
Right. At the end of the movie, he gives him
right,
the phone.
And you see that War Machine's going over to Cap's side to fight, and you see Banner with both sides, actually. So I imagine that there's at least some collaboration, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of hugs at the beginning. I don't think it's going to, have scene one, and then Tony and Steve shaking hands.
But the Accords, wouldn't they still be in effect in
I would think so.
in the Infinity movie?
I would think so.
Would they be allowed to fight without the permission of this board of people?
Well, maybe. But then again, it looks like Cap's team is fighting in Wakanda. And I'm sure T'Challa could just agree to, have these group of heroes fighting there. It's like,
Black Panther didn't sign, right?
It looked like he was signing it. In this movie. Yeah, he was on Tony's team. He said that he thought that was a good idea. But then again, it's
right, he was on Tony's
and it's happening in his country, so what are you gonna do? It's Wakanda, and what are you gonna do? Is another army gonna be like, hey, you have the Avengers, Wakanda. Not only are you the most advanced civilization on the planet,
yeah.
and your king is a superhero, yeah. But you also have an entire team of superheroes. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna go ahead and invade and fight you guys. And invade you while we have an entire alien invasion happening. So I'm going to assume that the UN is gonna let it slide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna let that slide.
Take this giant book and go.
Okay.
Defend the planet.
Or avenge.
Avenge the planet. Really.
Yeah, because the Avengers are other people there.
Yeah, I was just seeing this movie. I'm kind of wondering how are they going to connect? Because this is the last time you see them all together before this next big movie comes out. So.
Yeah.
Except you add the Guardians.
Yeah, and Doctor Strange.
Oh yes, Doctor Strange.
And Hulk and Thor are now part of it. So a lot of people.
But, yeah. Anyways, so.
But yeah, they did a good job of jumbling all these characters, because I remember when it was coming out, people were saying there's 13 characters.
13.
Yeah, I think they're altogether 13 characters, and some of them were actually new characters.
Everyone who loves comics loves those scenes where you see the two teams lining up and facing off.
But but they're afraid that it would just be a mess.
No, it wasn't.
And every character.
The airport fight scene.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
The best. I'm like not a comic book nerd like this one here, but it was the best.
Easily the best.
And it's funny too. My favorite line. What's my favorite line?
Oh, little guy is big now. He's big now.
Tiny dude is.
Tiny dude.
Tiny dude is big now.
Yeah, he's big now. Yeah, War Machine.
It's like whoosh.
That's
grabs War Machine.
Like that scene, that fight scene. Like every character has like an awesome moment of like beating somebody up. You know, everyone has like, oh, that's awesome. That looks cool. It's pretty easy to just have Falcon being like a guy in the background, just like waka, waka, while you have like Giant Man and Vision and War Machine and all these other guys like blowing stuff
Spider-Man.
up. Right, but I'm saying like it's easy to have somebody like Falcon to be like kind of cast aside.
No, they were all featured very well.
Hawkeye got some good moves in. Again, like Age of Ultron, I thought they did a good job with Hawkeye's character development,
as well as Scarlet Witch's.
Yeah, well, yeah, those two together was really good. Because it made sense that they would be on Cap's side. It made sense what they were doing. It made sense that they were like how close to death they were because of what happened in Age of Ultron. So he's kind of like the big brother to her now. He's Quicksilver.
He probably feels responsible for her brother's death.
Right.
And he also gave her that whole speech on like,
I'm
gonna go walk out the door. You know, it's my job. You know, like when she said, "It's my job," she was taking a page out of his book.
Yeah, that's why I like him. He's like a blue collar superhero. You know, like
blue collar.
Yeah, you know, it's like he's like just like this factory dude, just going to work every day, he's punching in, doing his job, and going home to his family at the end of the day. Just so happens that he's a superhero.
Right.
You know, instead of going to a
superheroes have to punch cars in.
No, they don't. Most of them don't. But I like him because he has that attitude. It's his job. Oh. He has a job to do. Even here, he's just like, yeah, I'm disappointed in my kids because, what did they do? I forgot.
They were supposed to go jet skiing or something.
Right. And they got grounded or something. They did something, acted up, and he's like, you know, it's like punishing them by, like, fine, I'm gonna go save the world, Captain America.
He's disappointing his kids.
And
I think the kids will be excited to know that their dad is a superhero.
They're probably used to it, you know.
It's not a big deal to them.
Yeah. Well, I think every character had like good motivation. Like it made sense if you watch the other Marvel movies. It made sense that Cap would make the decisions that he made. It makes sense that Iron Man would make the decisions he made, and neither one is right or wrong. You know, it makes sense that Wanda and Hawkeye would be on Cap's side. It made sense that War Machine would be on Iron Man's side, and even you know, this is the first time we saw Spider-Man and Black Panther. And they made sense. Like you kind of figure like, okay, a young science nerd like Peter Parker would just be like, yeah, okay, cool. I get to go to Germany and hang out with Iron Man, and
he was like,
he was funny,
gooey gaga over everyone. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
you got a
middle arm. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That shield doesn't like.
It defies the laws of physics.
I was like, speak for yourself, kid.
Yeah. And then even Black Panther, you know, like with Spider-Man, they had the other versions of Spider-Man before this, so I think the audience really like knew who and what he was. But
yeah.
Black Panther, a lot of people didn't know who he was.
He's cool.
He's super cool.
He like gets flipped up in the air, and I like how he lands.
Like a panther?
Like a panther, even without his suit.
Yeah.
He still lands like that. Really tells you like he's very well trained.
So. And yeah, it would be very easy to make him look kind of generic.
Who?
Black Panther, because he's, you know, it would be easy without.
He's great.
It would be easy if it was different writers.
They got the best actor they could for that.
Yeah, but it'd be very easy to make him just look like, okay, it's a guy who's after revenge for his dad's death. You know, but they really made him interesting with what little time they actually had with him. He only has like 10 minutes screen time altogether.
But you really want to, like, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing those scenes
Mm-hmm.
in that movie made me want to see Black Panther, like, to learn more about his character, his background. Like, of course, anybody's going to want to avenge their father's death.
Right.
But it wasn't that. It was just the way his character was. And like I said, the actor was amazing. He just really embodied the character very well, I think. Although I didn't read the comics, so I don't know.
It did embody him very well.
You think so?
Pretty spot on.
Yeah, it's like...
But, and the speech he gave Zemo, again, you kind of figured, okay, he's probably going to, at the last minute, decide not to kill the villain. Although I actually thought that Bucky or Cap or somebody would actually capture him, but no, it was Black Panther that captured the villain. Ultimately, he's the one that saved the day. But, still, like, Chadwick Boseman, who is the actor who plays Black Panther, really gave a good performance when he was giving that speech. It's like, it's consuming you, it's consuming them, and I'm not going to let that happen to me. Like, I'm just going to rise above that, you know? As opposed to kind of a typical, if you kill him, you will be just like him. That's usually what they say, right? Here it's just like, okay, I can see how this destroys people's lives if they're just out for revenge, and I just don't want to have anything to do with that. So, hands him over to Ross, the other Ross.
Growth in his character despite the short screen time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only real quibble with this movie was introducing Spider-Man. It really
That's his favorite superhero.
Yeah, Spider-Man's my favorite. Well, it's not even that. It's just there's no foreshadowing of Spider-Man. I mean, obviously, leading up to the movie, everyone knew that Spider-Man was going to be in this movie, but in the movie itself, there was really no foreshadowing. Like, if we had Tony watching the YouTube videos beforehand, or some sort of like rumor.
So they were YouTube videos.
Yeah, or some sort of rumor like, oh, I hear there's a some kind of Spider-Man swinging around New York, or something like that he would investigate, right? I mean, there's a scene where General Ross is, or Secretary of State Ross is talking about how dangerous superheroes are. He could have said something like, oh, and I hear of, I've heard stories of this Spider-Man guy around Queens, New York. This is getting out of hand. There's so many superpowered people showing up, and could have Tony going, kind of looking at his phone, like, and that could have been a bit of a segue, but it's just like all of a sudden it's like, oh, Peter Parker.
A little out of place, but yeah.
Yeah, and like, how did he actually find Peter? I mean, it's Tony Stark.
He's Tony Stark.
It's Tony Stark.
He's got resources.
He has resources, but I would like a little bit of something.
True.
Like him saying, ever since I saw these YouTube videos, I've been using satellites and AI to pinpoint the coordinates and yeah, blah blah blah. It needed a blah blah blah.
You needed a blah blah.
It needed a blah blah blah.
A yada yada.
A yada yada even.
Yeah.
So.
Anyways.
That's really the only like minor issue I had. Like, the movie is pretty much perfect. Like, otherwise, yes. Perfect. Absolutely. Like, I loved Winter Soldier. I loved Civil War. So I think the Captain America superhero trilogy is probably, I would say, is the best superhero trilogy.
Wow.
Like, the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are like Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2, my favorite comic book movies. Or some of my favorite comic book movies. But, Spider-Man 3 was a little...
I didn't see it.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's one where he's dancing. There's a lot of... It's bad. Okay. Or like the original Michael Keaton Batman movies. Like, it starts off great, but eventually it kind of peters out. Or Iron Man. Like, the first one was great. The second one was, pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. And the third one was, Thor, the first one was good. Second one was, third one was actually pretty good.
But you think with Captain America, all three were good?
All three were great. Or like the Blade movies, I'm just naming all the superhero movies now, so...
So anyway, what's next?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
You almost watched that today. Like, wait, Civil War first. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Almost out of order.
That's a little. You know what you say about that? That's a little weird.
Strange.
Maybe. So.
Anyways.
Anything else?
No. That's
so,
it.
I think Civil War shows that Infinity War is going to be in good hands. Good. Same guys. So, all right, Doctor Strange is next. So, see you next time.